Okay, welcome to the third project for Computer Fundamentals. This one is called Word Project C. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure it's changed from _1 to _2. So we'll go File, Save As, we'll click Browse, and usually I save it in Documents. So I changed this 1 to a 2. Perfect. Alright, now we'll start with step 1. As usual, I have my instructions printed. If you're switching back and forth the screens, that works too. So step 1 is you are writing a research report on the future of electricity for your Introduction to Economics class. You must write the paper in the MLA style and incorporate suggestions from your instructor, Martin Kerr. Modify the normal style by changing its font to Times New Roman, the font size to 12 point, and the line spacing to double with no blank space after paragraphs. So this is similar to what we did in Project B. We are going to modify the normal style. So here's our normal style on our Home tab. We're going to right-click here, and we're going to choose Modify. Now in here, we're going to follow the steps they've said. So first thing is change the font to Times New Roman. Then the font size to 12. The line spacing to double, which is this one here. If you hover, usually you get an indication of what it is, but this one actually doesn't. So this furthest one over in this little group here is your double. And no blank space after paragraphs. As you can see right here, you've got after 8. So to get rid of that, you're going to put these two arrows that look like they're condensing together. So it means you're making the spaces smaller. If you click it once, you get down to after 2. See that? And then click it again, and it deletes. So now there's no spaces between paragraphs. So you can click OK, and there you go. It seems everything here was already set up in normal style. Step 2, apply the modified normal style to the first 4 paragraphs in the document from Erica Alubi to 14 April 2021. So as you can see, these backwards P's indicate when there's a paragraph. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. These first 4 paragraphs, you're going to apply what you just made changed in the normal style. So you're going to highlight these guys and just regular click normal. Now if you don't see these backwards P's, that's no problem. That's what this button is. On the Home tab, the backwards P looking thing is a paragraph formatting mark. It shows and hides the formatting marks on your document. I'm going to leave them on for me. If it's not on for you, that's no problem. Step 3, edit the header to enter Alubi as the header text followed by a plain page number and then close the header and footer. So we did this in the previous project with Sanchez. So I could double click up here and it gets me into my header. Another way you can do it is go to Insert, Header, and you can go down to Edit Header here. All right, so I'll start typing Alubi. Perfect. And it wants us to add a plain page number. To do that, I'm going to hit my spacebar once so that it's not all jumbled together. And then I'm going to choose page number, but I won't choose from either one of these because it will replace Alubi with these pre-formatted headings. I'm going to go from current position and choose plain number. There we go, we keep Alubi. Alright, so I'm going to close my header and footer tools. Another way as well, if you're in here, you can choose this button or you can also double click down in the body and that'll get you brought back as well. Step 4, create a first line indent of 0.5 inches for all the body paragraphs, beginning with recently, 3 developments, and ending with power to consumers. So recently, 3 developments. I'm going to keep going till I find power to consumers. Okay, now I'm going to create first line indents. So those are found in the drop down button next to my paragraph group. And over here in the indentation section, you've got special. So you choose first line. By default, it's 0.5 inches. So you don't need to change this at all. Just make sure you choose first line and click OK. Okay, for step 5, find the sentence, electrification is the process of converting a machine or a system to run on electrical power. So, electrification is the process, and then it says, after the period in that sentence, insert a footnote. with the following text. So after. Citations are before the period, like in the last project you did. Footnotes are after. So after the period, I'm going to insert a footnote. So footnotes are going to be my references tab. Insert footnote right here. Okay, so it pops down at the bottom of the page there. And I type in the text it tells me. It can also mean providing electricity to a state or region, period. Make sure you put that period in there and make sure that you don't have any extra spaces, and make sure that you have everything capitalized or lowercase that it shows on the page. All right, so now that I have that done, for step 6, it says to modify the footnote text style by changing its font size to 12 point, the line spacing to double, and the indentation to a 0.5 inch first line indent. To do that, we're going to right click. We're going to choose Style. In here, we're going to click Modify. And then in here, we change the font size to 12. Line spacing to double, and to get our first line indent, we're going to go down to Format and Paragraph. And we get the same paragraph dialog box we're used to when we click the drop-down box for next to the paragraph group. So we change it to first line. It's defaulted at 0.5, so you don't need to change anything there. Click OK. There you go. You can see a preview of it here. And then you click OK, Apply, and there you go. It just increases the font size, and it increased this little tab here, so you get a first line indent for each one of them. Step 7, in the third body paragraph, insert a citation to the existing Bingham source before the period at the end of the sentence in a centralized. So here's in a centralized. We're going to find the end, and just before the period, we are going to insert a citation to an existing Bingham source. So in my References tab, I go to my Insert Citation. It's existing, so I don't need to add new source. I need to look for Bingham. Click on it, and it inserts it there. Step 8, on page 2, find the sentence, digitalization means mechanizing business processes, which is the very first one here. Replace the word mechanizing with a synonym that begins with the letter A. So I'm going to highlight mechanism, and I'm going to right-click and go down to synonyms. And the first one there is the one that starts with the letter A, so I'm going to click on that, and it just replaces it, mechanizing with automating. All right, so step 9, reply to your instructor's comment attached to the same sentence with the following text, I added one. So as you can see, these little speech balloons are for comments. So if you click on this, you'll see a comment. Martin Kerr has said you need at least one more footnote. Step 9 tells you to reply saying I added one, period. So we're going to go reply, capital I added one, period. So now that you got that done, you don't need to click enter or anything, just hit outside. Step 10, in the same paragraph, edit the Geller citation to add 26 as the page number. So here's the Geller citation there in brackets. To edit a citation, you're going to right-click on it, and it's Edit Citation. Here you have a little dialog box that says pages. You type in 26. Okay. Okay, step 11 says read and then delete the comment attached to the sentence. Significant progress is being made to provide electricity to the parts of the developing world that do not have it. So, here we go. So this comment here, it says read and then delete it. So you need a citation to support this sentence. Okay, so while it is selected, I'm going to go up to my Review tab, which is where the controls for the comments are, and I'm going to hit delete. And then that speech bubble disappears. Now, there's also a second part of step 11, and it says before the period in that sentence, insert a citation to a new source using the information shown in figure 1. So it's a bit of a two-stepper. So that was the significant progress, and we're going to find the end So we're going to insert a citation to a new source. So we've done this one in the last project. We go to References, Insert Citation, Add New Source, and we follow what they tell us in Figure 1. So it is a website. There we go. Make sure that you spell everything correctly and have the proper spaces in. So when you fill it all out, just do a double check over it all. Typos are easy to make. All right, that looks good to me. Okay. There we go, Yang. And if at any point you're wondering if you're doing this correctly, you can skip to the last page of your instructions and there's the solution file, so you can compare what you're doing to the solution file to make sure that it looks the same. Okay, so for step 12, in the last body paragraph, before the period at the end of the sentence, the rapidly falling costs. So here's this sentence. We're going to go before the period, and I'm going to insert a citation placeholder using Moyes as the name of the placeholder. So we're going to insert a citation placeholder. So we're going to go insert citation, add new placeholder, and Moyes. Be very careful to spell this correctly. It's not Moyles, it's Moyes. Okay. Step 13, delete the Briggs source from the current list of sources. So to do that, we are going to go up to manage our sources. I'm going to choose Briggs. As you can see here, there's no check mark next to it, which means that it hasn't been used here. It was added into the source, but it wasn't actually used in the document. So I'll click on it, and then I'm going to delete it. Close. Step 14, find all instances of the word developments in the document and use trends as the replacement. Okay. So we're going to go back to your Home tab, and we're going to go Replace all the way over on the right-hand side. Now I'm going to type in developments, and I'm going to replace that with trends. And where it says Find All Instances, we're going to hit Replace All. We've done 3 replacements. Perfect. I'll hit close on that. Now, step 15, in the blank paragraph at the end of the document, use the Insert Bibliography command to insert a list of sources without a built-in heading. So the same as the last project. Now, the formatting marks, this is where it helps me find the last paragraph. If you don't have those on, just click somewhere down here in the white space and it'll just automatically pop up to where that paragraph is. So to insert my bibliography, I'm going to go back to the References tab. I'm going to click on Bibliography. These are built-in or pre-formatted headings. They don't want this. They want you to choose just the regular Insert Bibliography because they already gave you a title. All right, so that's your last step. Now just make sure that you hit your floppy disk a few times, make sure it's all saved, and then you can submit it to Sam for grading. Great job.